What's up guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Nyma. For those of you guys that are new, today I am going to be reviewing all of the new ABH launches that just came out. I've got the cream bronzer, the stick highlighter, and the stick blush. So I'm going to be showing you guys that today. Today's video is also in partnership with them. And I'm actually so excited because when it comes to new products, especially for deeper skin tones that are supposed to be complexion products, it is so far and few in between to find products like this. So I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys that review today on the blush. Mainly what I'm most excited for is the cream bronzer. You guys know bronzer and me have like a love-hate. I usually don't even use bronzer unless it's like a powder bronzer. If I'm doing that, I'm probably using something that's not even labeled a bronzer. I'm probably using like a eyeshadow and using it as a bronzer. So today I'm going to be showing you guys that demo and show you guys kind of where to use it, where to not use it. I know sometimes cream products in general can be a little bit intimidating, but I love them. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how I use those things today. I got a package from Flower Beauty actually recently, and I wanted to try this primer that is in there. So I wanted to try it because it looks pretty. It's like mousse. Hopefully it's not a mistake. Interesting. Definitely feels like I should be washing my face right now. Oh, it's kind of got like a radiance primer to it too. Okay, that's good. This feels really weird. It feels like soap. Or I got a lot. I probably got a lot. Hold on. It says primer. Let me find out. I played myself. I think I just put too much on. This is interesting. Doesn't feel terrible. It's definitely very glowy. It's kind of balling up just a tad in certain areas. I get it. I get the point. I think I just put way too much on. I am very reflective, as if I needed any more reflection. I don't know what I was thinking. This looks a lot crazier on camera. Ew. That didn't go well. I got it. I get the point. I think it really could be something. I'm gonna definitely try it again. I think it was just a mix of user error. I squirted way too much out. That didn't come out well. So I'm just gonna moisturize. Thank goodness it's nighttime and I don't need my SPF because that just went. And I'm in my office. I don't have SPF with me. Actually, I have some in my purse. What am I talking about? So I just re-moisturize with the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Cream. It's really nice. Yes. Forehead is back in action, like she never left. But I'm gonna prime with the Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched Face Base. My skin has been loving me so much, you guys. I actually went and saw an esthetician 2 weeks ago. She gave me microdermabrasion. It was really nice, and I changed a few things in my routine per her recommendation, and it's been good so far. So I'm gonna use the Oma Beauty Flawless in Real Life foundation today. I have it in the shade number Black Pearl T2. I'm gonna spray some Seal the Deal from Flower setting spray onto my brush, because this foundation is more of a matte finish or a natural finish. My skin, although I hydrated it pretty well, I want to make sure I give it a fair chance. I've already done a full review on this foundation too. If you guys haven't seen it, it's probably my latest video, or if not the second to latest video. So I'm just gonna put this everywhere. So I'm actually really excited, like I said, to be showing you guys the new ABH bronzer. I have the shade Cool Brown here, which when I saw this, you guys, when I saw this on Trend Mood, which is where I see mostly like the new makeup drops and stuff, I was super excited. So I was already interested in trying this product for you guys in general, and I was gonna buy it as soon as it went out. But then I got an email saying that they wanted to work with me for this launch, and I was like, okay, I have to try it first, cause duh. I've already actually turned down recently another collaboration where they wanted to work with me on a bronzer product, and I was just like, you guys have to send me the product quickly, because more often than not, these bronzers and stuff like that don't work for me on my skin tone. Like, they don't go deep enough for my skin tone. So I was like, nah. Before I even agree to anything, I always try it out regardless. I always test it out, see if I like it, see if it works for me and my skin type too. I give my feedback, and then we can move forward with the collaboration. I was actually really excited that they wanted to work on this launch with me, and then on top of that, it freaking works. So I'm super excited because I know all of you guys are always looking to me for recommendations for deeper skin tones. This is a product that I'm excited to bring to you guys and show you guys. There's 2 cream bronzers that just launched recently, and they just no. So here's the difference between a bronzer which this one is the one I'm gonna be using today. This is the ABH Cream Bronzer in Cool Brown. They sent me 3 shades of the bronzers. These two look very, very similar. One of them is hazelnut and the other one is chestnut. These are what they look like on the inside. I feel like you get a pretty good amount too. I think it says 1 ounce per product. The undertones are slightly different, so maybe that's why. This one looks more like it's a golden yellow undertone. This is definitely more like a red pinky undertone. And then the one that I am actually using is a cool undertone. I would still consider this more of a on the redder, pinkier undertone side. It's just really, really deep, really rich, and it does not pull too red, which is usually my biggest gripe, I guess, with bronzers that are supposed to be on the deeper side, is usually they look like blush. I didn't ask for that. I wanted a bronzer. So they're $35 and they launched with 7 shades. If you ask me, my personal opinion, I do think you probably need a little bit more variation within the bronzer range. I'm assuming the last 3 are the ones that they sent me, hazelnut and chestnut. Now, I do love the fact that these two are kind of the same, they're a similar shade, just a different undertone. But the jump from here to here, there definitely could be room for like maybe even like 2 or 3 more in there, maybe. And I think that could be applied to the opposite side of the spectrum as well, to me. More often than not, bronzers cut off at this shade right here, and I'm just like, what do I, Nyma Tang, deep dark chocolate queen, do with this? Okay, so I'm gonna show you guys what this looks like separate when I don't use my contour. I am gonna use this as just like to lightly bronze my face, right? I'm gonna go in with the Pat McGrath Labs Skin Fetish Sublime Concealer. I'm gonna show you guys how I use these different cream products, because I actually really love cream products. I feel like I can manipulate them a lot better for me than powder products, but that's also because of like I'm light-handed when I apply it. I don't go in too heavy. If you're trying to go in heavy-handed with a cream product, will have you looking crazy, I'm not gonna lie. Concealer. So on this side, I wanna show you guys what the bronzer is gonna look like. And it's just gonna give me a slight definition, which I really like. This is the shade I like to use when I am not wanting to go too heavy on the contour. So it's just like, you see how you can see it there? It's just like a slight shade, just a slight definition. It's not too red, it's not too purple. It doesn't feel like it's gonna make me look like Barney, which I've had some bronzers definitely do on me. It's just the perfect amount of like definition for a light bronze, and it actually shows up as like something deepening and bronzing and doing that to my skin tone versus just like a flush of color. This is what I expect in a bronzer. I'm not expecting it to define too much. I am expecting it to define at least some. When I first had this conversation about bronzers and like things like that, people thought I was expecting a bronzer to contour my face. No, I think it should define my face at least a little bit, you know, at least, but I wasn't expecting it to do what I'm about to use right now. This is a MAC palette. This is a contour shade. This is a shade right here that I would consider a contour shade. And this is what people thought I was expecting from a bronzer. No, I know the difference. No, there's a clear difference between this as being as contour, right? And like if I really, really, really want to chisel it on and be really heavy with my contour, I can do that. But what I really like to do, and what my favorite way to wear bronzer is like, I go in with the contour, and then right on top of that, to blend out the edges, I use the bronzer, which just looks so freaking good, y'all. Look at that. So that's how I like to use contour and bronzer at the same time. It adds the warmth. It still gives me a slight definition, and it just looks really great. So you guys will see I'm more defined on this side right now than I am on this side, because I am getting that bronzy effect, but it is lighter than my foundation. But also, this specific product, the foundation that I use is a foundation that matches my chest and my neck. So this is why it's showing up a little bit better. Now, if I used a different foundation, like if I use my Pure Love Your Selfie or a foundation that was a much closer match to my face, I would more than likely just use my contour product instead of my bronzer, and my contour product will show up and look like more of a bronzer. Does that make sense? You guys get me? Y'all got me? Get it? That's what that cream bronzer looks like. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. But I always go in super light, and I just make sure I blend away and I don't do anything too heavy. I'm gonna go ahead and just even it out on both sides. because one side is now more chiseled than the other, and I don't want that. So now we've got that on. It's not too much. I have to cool down. As companies started to create products for deeper skin tones, I definitely felt like what was really missing in my routine was a good bronzer. Colored Ranges came out with some really beautiful powder bronzers, and they are top tier, literally top tier, but they were a powder bronzer. And for my cream base routine, I felt like what was really missing was like a cream or a liquid. I don't think bronzers even come in liquid, do they? A cream or a liquid bronzer or a bronzing stick, and I definitely think that this is it. This is exactly what was missing for my routine. To get that perfect gradient, I love to use the contour right where I want to chisel. Then the bronzer goes in to marry the highlight and the contour together. And normally I've been doing that with my foundation, but it doesn't really help and add that extra added depth and like definition and extra added warmth to the face because it's just my foundation. And now with the bronzer, it is about to be top tier, but I do think that this was definitely a product that was definitely missing in my routine. I always tell people, I'm like, you guys just wait until I can do a full face with products that are actually meant for that specific purpose and also work for my skin tone. It's over. I've been doing all this with products that aren't even labeled or supposed to be used for certain steps in your routine. Wait till I get a full face, y'all. A full face of products that I actually like that work. Okay, so I just blended out my concealer. Now I'm gonna take my same brush. I'm not even gonna add anything extra. I don't need any more extra product because I still have some there. And I'm gonna use this to just marry all of that together. I'm not afraid to go back and forth with the sponge and the brush until I get exactly what I want, where there's no clear defined line to where my concealer, my bronzer, and my contour start. Like, I will sit here and go and do this back and forth all day. The bottom half of my face, I don't really like to take the bronzer down there. I use my foundation brush to diffuse my contour. You're nice and contoured, bronzed, and glowy. The key to this is making sure you don't put too much on, because if you put too much on, girl, it's like trying to erase permanent marker. It's gonna look muddy and it's gonna look gross. It's just not gonna happen. So go in light, build your way up, because you can always add, but it's super, super hard to take away unless you're just literally about to wash your entire face off. Now we've got the sticks. I wanna use a blush. I have 3 blush sticks here. One is in the shade Pink Dahlia, baby pink. Honestly, I think it might come off ashy on me specifically, so I probably won't be using that one. The other one is Soft Rose, which is this one right next to it. Still a little bit more on the ashier side for me. It's a little too light, probably not best for my skin tone. And then the other one is Peach Caramel, which I think is gonna be the one for your girl. This one right here. On camera, they look a lot more lighter. Off camera, they are a lot more pigmented. So this one, although on camera it looks like it's gonna be ashy, I don't think it is. So I'm gonna just take this, putting this right here. And I always like to take my blush kind of almost up into my temple. I'm actually gonna use a brush for this. Adding cream underneath your powder will help it last longer as well. Blush is the first thing to fade on your face. I have definitely noticed that. That's why I like to also go in blush heavy. So for highlighters, which I know I'm gonna love, oh my god, I haven't worn a cream highlighter in so long. I have the shades Bubbly and Cognac Diamond. This is the shade Bubbly. Icy, very champagne colored highlight. This is what it looks like right there. Probably not gonna use that one, although I do love an icy highlight. Probably not gonna use that one today. And then this one is in the shade Cognac Diamond, which is that shade right there. And I'll probably use that today, just in the high points of my face. So the stick blush is $32 and the stick highlighter is $34. I think if I would have gotten Hot Sand instead of the Cognac Diamond, it probably would have been more of my type of highlighter fave, but since I have Cognac Diamond today, I'm gonna try that just in like the high points of my face. I'm just hitting where light kind of catches, and I'm using the same brush that I used with my blush when I blended that out, and I'm keeping it focused on those spots that I hit and then just diffusing it out. I don't want to put it everywhere. I just want to make sure it hits on the spots that I normally get more light. I usually hit my nose. I won't hit these, although like you see light reflecting there. It does reflect there, but I don't like it, so I'm gonna matte that later with some powder. Whatever's left, I'm just like running that through my forehead. That is all of our cream products on our face. I think they look really good. The only thing I wish was more pigmented was the blush. Let me see if I didn't get sent a blush that I actually really liked. To make sure I don't move anything, I'm gonna lightly set first with some powder. I'm gonna start with the contour first. This is my contour palette from Midas Cosmetics and Neon MUA. I'm gonna start there, and I'm gonna reinforce my contour. So that is my contour reinforced. And then for my under eyes, I'm using Huda Beauty Cinnamon Bun Setting Powder. I'm gonna take a little bit of Laura Mercier right underneath my eyes. This kind of just helps brighten up underneath my eyes. For powder bronzer, I'm just gonna take a little bit of LYS, the List Powder Bronzer, and just reinforce that bronze that I have. It's a very similar color to the powder bronzer that I just used. And then last but not least, to finish off our face, I'm using Clay Too Much from Mented. This is similar to the blush that I just used earlier, that cream blush that I just used earlier. It's nothing crazy. It's not really gonna pick up and read as a blush. It's just gonna look like a little bit of a flush of color. And then to fully set the rest of my face, I know it's a lot of powders, but they all have different purposes and different reasons why I use each and every single one of them. This powder is gonna set the rest of my face. And this is like a no color powder. And this will really just mattify the rest of my face. Doesn't really change anything, doesn't move anything around. It just gives it a nice soft set. All right, now we're gonna spray this face down. I'm gonna use a hydrating setting spray. All right, now you cannot tell me this base is not flawless. Like, where are the harsh lines, but we see the definition, we see the sculpt, we see the glow, we see the bronze. It looks really good. Right, so this is the full face completely done. I just did brows. I did a wing liner that I haven't done in ages. I can't believe I haven't done a wing in so long. And then for the lips, I just used my Dose of Colors lip liner and my MAC collab that I did literally forever ago as a cute little like ombre lip effect. So this is what it looks like. It looks so I haven't touched anything on the base. I didn't add any extra blush because I really don't need to. Like, everything looks very subtle, very blended. This looks really good. So I really hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I know cream products and cream contour, bronzers, anything in general can feel a little intimidating, but I really hope I kind of broke it down for you guys a little bit today so y'all can understand, like, if you are one of those people that's a little bit more intimidated by cream products, I hope the way that I applied it today and the way that it looks on my face kind of gives you a little bit more confidence with cream products. If you guys want to check out the products that I used today, the ABH cream bronzer, blush stick, and highlighter stick, I'll have everything down below in the description. Thank you guys so much for watching. Lots of love, and I will see you guys next time.